What's going on, family? I hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for joining me here on TLP Sports Club on YouTube. You may be watching this on Facebook or somewhere else where I'm not really, I ain't, right? So I'm on YouTube. So come on over because YouTube is my partner. They send the video in different places because I've seen my algorithm or I've seen my analytics, and for some reason, the videos or my presentations, they end up in different places all over the interweb. So I have to let you know I'm only primarily on YouTube and on X, formerly known as Twitter. But I want to thank you anyway for joining me here on the show. All right, guys. So the show that you are watching is TLP Live. Thank you so much for joining me. I am your host. I go by the name of Harry B. The B means billion. Maybe one day I will explain what that means, okay? But for now, just it's billion, okay? Just associated with just being a billionaire for now. One day you'll get the real meaning what that of billion, okay? But thank you for joining me here tonight. Tonight, I want to talk about the Claressa Shields situation with Laila Ali. It's not customary that I do that on here at TLP Sports Club. But like I told you guys, eventually I am going to be expanding this platform because the name is TLP Sports Club. I want to talk about more things. I want to spread my wings and I want to fly a little bit. All right. So tonight, I ain't going to apologize. I'm just going to jump right into it because I find this Claressa Shields situation, I just kind of stumbled upon it and it's getting a little messy, but the origin is interesting to me. I want to cover a small bit of it and talk about it. And if any of y'all want to join me here tonight on this here panel, I'm going to put my information up and we can talk about it. But I wanted the community to kind of I said, weigh in to see if this was a misunderstanding, MISS understanding, or was this some type of shade? I got a few clips that I want to play and I want to react to those clips on this live. And I want the community to talk, to help me out, to help me figure this thing out. Because women's sports, I find it quite interesting. I love women's sport. But, women's boxing, there's not too many women boxing. And sometimes, just like we got Angel Reese and of course my brain is gonna forget the other girl name, the white girl name. What is the white girl's name anyway? Okay, I'm sure I'll remember in a second. Okay, but there's always things that are taken out of context. But in this one, I found it to be interesting. Okay, so I say, okay, you know what? Let me go ahead and jump in and talk about this. So before I do that, though, let me go ahead and run my intro, and then I'll come back. I'll play a few clips. We'll talk about it, and I got to go to bed. You understand what I'm saying? So anytime I come home early and I have a little bit of time, I want to jump in here in the studio, do what I got to do. We have a little conversation, and then I got to go to bed, okay? Because I got to work in the morning. I got to wake up very early. So let's run the intro, and then I'll be right back to play those clips, and we can talk about it. Let's go.
BWB, bandwagon bus.
That's right. It's your man's Harry Billion. Please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload it to YouTube. All right, family, I got to go ahead and get into this video real quick. So that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. Let's get right to work. Kaylin Clark, my man, Peter, investor. Thank you so much. The Angel Reese situation and Caitlin Clark situation. I felt like, we don't give women. Before I get into the show real quick, let me just handle some business real quick because my guy Peter Investor just jumped right into it, and he with the blessing. I want to thank you for paying for this live, man. I really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? It's a live that most people are not, they're going to be a little confused because they're used to the football content and whatnot. So Peter Investor said, you know what, let me bless my man's Harry B as he continues to expand his platform that is TLP Sports Club and involve more conversations about different things. You feel me? So let's go ahead and jump right into it. But we want to say Thank you so much, Mr. Peter Investor. You know what I'm saying? A member here on TLP Sports Club. Always looking out for the kid. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Salute. But yeah, man, look, I see women's sports as you know what I'm saying? Like they need to get a better or a fair shake. It's entertaining just like the men's sports. It's all entertainment. I watched Laila Ali. I was watching her when she was doing her thing. Okay. Now, there was not much competition, but whoever was available at the time, she handled business. Yes, she's a famous daughter, so you can take certain things away from that or whatever it is. But this situation kind of like, I stumbled upon it. I didn't know that there was a beef. But I believe this morning, you know, I'm getting ready and I stumbled upon the video, and Laila Ali is actually explaining how they got to the place where she and Claressa Shields are beefing or are at odds. So I didn't really understand what was going on. But then the video reached to a certain point in the video when Laila Ali actually explains this is what happens. And I'm like, so I'm thinking about it. I said, okay. It was a little tough for me. Right? It was a little tough for me. And I'm like, I'm scratching my head. And I said, you know, oh, Peter, you're welcome, man. Yo, you're definitely welcome, brother. I mean, you're a member on here, and you keep the engagement going. You keep the conversation going outside of the videos. You're in the comments. You're helping the brother out. The algorithm. I appreciate you. And I just wanted you to know that. But yeah, man, so let's go ahead and play the actual. Let me set it up just a little bit because I don't want to play the entire video. So when Claressa Shields was coming up, she and Laila Ali, she reached out to Laila Ali, and Laila Ali gave her some advice. All right. And they became friends. Laila Ali helped her with her career, give her some advice on what to do, getting a personal chef, losing the weight, making sure that you're in tip-top shape so that you can take the ring the way that you really want to, so that you can get, you can raise your career to wherever you want to go. And you have to understand that I believe when Laila Ali was fighting, I don't know that boxing or women boxing was as popular, I believe, as it is now. It's not that much. It's not that popular, even though we have the UFC and we have the women, doing a lot more. We had women wrestling and all of that, but it was more like a gimmicky type of thing. You know what I'm saying? The WWF was more of a gimmicky type of thing. So women were wrestling before and stuff like that, but the boxing, we weren't ready for it at the time. Even when Laila Ali was doing it, the Olympics had not adapted the women boxing just yet. So it was kind of like an anomaly when she was doing it. So she's like a pioneer, Laila Ali. We watched her, and I can just give you my own personal stories about it. I just feel like when women are boxing, you think about their women parts, right? And for me, I'm like, I'm a woman's man. I'm a man like that love women. I support women when they have their conversations about different things, and I'm that guy. I don't know why I'm wired that way, but I'm a supporter. I'm not a feminist, like some people would say, but I'm a feminist adjacent, right? I'm a supporter, right? So I think about the women parts and stuff, and the things that got going on. So it's a little cringe for me when women are boxing, especially if the woman is blessed, right? If you understand what I'm trying to say here, because this show is a family show. So if a woman is blessed and she's boxing, I'm sitting there so nervous because I'm like, oh Lord, that you're gonna hit the, what I'm saying? So it's a little weird. So I don't know how many other people out there feel the same way about women fighting and boxing and stuff in the UFC and all of those. I don't know if y'all feel the same way, but that's just the position I had. But Laila Ali, when you saw her boxing, she was like her dad. She was like real swift with it. She was cool with it. But I don't know that I think she was ahead of her time. And I don't know that the competition was as professional and ready for her type. You're right. So it's like you got this professional boxer. But she's a woman. But I think like the rest of the other women had not caught up to her professionalism as a boxer. So I felt like she was in the league by herself. You feel me? So anyway, you take all of that, and then you take Claressa Shields stepping into the picture, and Laila Ali takes her under her wing and try to give her some advice. And then something happened where Laila Ali is at an interview and she says this. So let's listen. All right. Let's go ahead and watch the tape. And then I want y'all help to help me to figure out if this is more of a misunderstanding or if this is legit shade. All right. And I'm going to drop the link of the video, the full video, so that y'all can watch it, because there's some things that you may want to see. I'll drop the link in the description so y'all can watch the video. All right. But let's go ahead and play the tape. Let me go ahead and set this up. And then y'all can help me out, because let me not tell you what I thought about it before, because I want y'all to, see it with me as I'm seeing it so that we can all decide. Okay, let's go.
Now, before we started our interview in Colorado, she said to me, "You're the name people say when it comes to women's boxing. You're the face they know. I want that to be me." Now, looking back after everything that's unfolded, it seems pretty calculated now. Like she was waiting for the right moment, the right excuse to finally do what she'd already made up her mind to do. I mean, that's how it feels now. She told me she saw me as the face of women's boxing, and she told me that she wanted my spot. And she's been on a mission to ruin my reputation ever since, simply because she heard me make a comment that was not about her and she took it personal. Fast forward to 2018, I was promoting my cookbook, Food for Life, and went on The Breakfast Club, a national show with millions of listeners. I did a 36-minute interview, and when the topic of boxing came up, I actually mentioned her and made positive comments. Then much later into the interview, I was asked about the possibility of a comeback.
Would you ever get back in the ring just for fun?
You still train?
I stay training.
Got you.
Yeah, I got a little baby six-pack right now.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I have a heavy bag hanging in my. I just turned 40.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
No.
Amazing. I know. I just turned 40. I can't believe it either. And because I think of my healthy lifestyle, the fact that I train all the time, I could pretty much do anything I wanted to. Well, I don't think there's anyone there for me right now that would actually give me a good challenge.
How did you and your husband argue? Because he can't, usually you could say something slick, but with you can't say that slickness.
You was on the Food Network's Chopped.
Yes.
And you won.
I did a couple times.
So what brings you more?
A little baby six-pack right now. Give me a good challenge. How did you do anything I wanted to? Well, I don't think there's anyone there for me right now that would actually give me a good challenge.
So that is the statement right there. That statement, I don't think there's anybody there for me right now that would give me a challenge. That's the statement. Now, you have to understand the premise and how this all works out. Claressa Shields is within the same weight class that Laila Ali would actually fight in if she was to unretire and get back to the ring, right? And Claressa Shields and Laila Ali are like, mentor-mentee relationship. So when Claressa Shields hears this, she takes it some kind of way. You feel me? So this is why I wanted to talk about this, because I'm like, okay, the grown people around here, when you hear that and you are young, but if it's your mentee or mentor, are you supposed to take this some kind of way? Is that shade? Like I just want to treat it in its rare essence, in its rare form, before we, start going back and forth. Because if this is your mentee and you know that she is in the same weight class as you, if you were to come back or unretire and get back in the ring, like you said, you you stay, you stay in shape and you can fight again, you can unretire and come back. It's a shame for you to say, I don't think that there's anyone there that will give me a challenge. And then if you unhear it and then put on a different set of ears, the business of boxing set of ears, you hear it differently. You see what I'm saying? Like the business of boxing set of ears, you don't hear that the same way. I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with boxing and the business of boxing, promotion and all of that. The way that you would hear this would be not necessarily somebody who would box, like fight with me, yada, 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 but somebody who would have enough clout to bring the bag to where I can be satisfied to unretire. That is the ear that you would hear. That's how you would hear it if you unheard it in the first time and you put on your boxing business ears. This is how you would hear it, because she is totally aware. Laila Ali is totally aware that her mentee is in the same weight class, right? And she's 40-something years old. So I don't think like she's thinking actively, oh, let me throw shade at her. But let's go just a little further.
When your husband argue, because he can't, usually they say, you can say something slick, but with you can't say that slickness.
You was on the Food Network's Chopped.
Yes.
And you won.
I did a couple times.
So what brings you more joy, winning in the ring or winning in the kitchen?
I just like to win, period. Definitely boxing is my first love, and cooking is something that I'm super passionate about.
Gotcha.
It'll be a part of my life forever. I'm not somebody who sits back and complains about things. I think everything happens in due time. You got Claressa Shields now, who's an Olympic champion. Mm-hmm. She's a young black girl, came out of Flint, Michigan, lived a hard life, went through a lot. She went to the Olympics, won twice.
You see what I'm saying? Like right there when you hear her, like, kind of light up and she starts talking about Claressa Shields, it's to let you know that Claressa Shields was not in her mind. It could have been, right? I'm not a linguistic expert, so I'm not sure, like, if her eyes, when it went down when she was talking, that she understood, because I do watch some body linguistic videos. So I know that sometimes, when you're baselining, you kind of like, you will say certain things. The person's name might pop up in your head when you're saying it, but the intent is not necessarily to cause harm. It's to kind of like, just loosely talk about it. So I'm not sure if I can't tell you whether or not she thought about Claressa Shields when she actually made the comment. But I would say that the way that her eyes lit up and when she said Claressa Shields, it kind of let us know that, okay, maybe she wasn't thinking about her at the time when she made the first statement. And it was not necessarily to say, hey, I don't know that you can box with me or you cannot box with me. Okay, let's go a little bit further.
Women's boxing wasn't in the Olympics when I fought. She actually fights at the weight class I fought in, and she's doing great. Women's boxing is getting some good attention.
Now remember, at the time, we were on good terms. She was reaching out to me and referring to me as Big Sis, but this was her response.
I watched the Breakfast Club video with Laila Ali. I have so much respect for her. And I like her. I actually call her my big sis, but it was so many shots thrown. Like, if y'all really paid.
All right, so just to be fair, I did not watch the entire Breakfast Club interview. This video was chopped up, for time purposes. So I'm not sure when she says there were so many shots thrown, because Laila Ali was not actually there to talk much about boxing, but because she's promoting, the cookbook, or she's promoting the cooking situation, what she does is boxing, or her previous job was boxing. So you talk about that, then you kind of like weave that in to, for storytelling purposes. If you're a good producer, that's what you're supposed to do. So when Claressa Shields says there were so many shots thrown, I wonder if she's like trying to be angry for no reason. Because from the clips that we've seen, I don't know that Laila Ali had some type of intention to say, hey, let me agitate her, let me throw some shots, and then she's going to call me out, lure me into to unretire, and we can get this bag. I don't know that that's what was going on, because obviously it's a technique that you use when you're trying to get the bag up. But I don't think that that's what was going on here. But she said she kind of took the approach of saying that there was so many shots thrown. When I watched, I said, hold up. Either Claressa Shields was taking something personal or just have a misunderstanding of what was being said. I can give her the argument of that portion that we played where she said, there's nobody there that can give me a challenge. I can see where she has a valid argument to say, all right, she threw a shot at me. Because if we're in the same weight class and you're talking about unretiring, you have a baby six-pack and you can come back in and you can fight, and then you say there's nobody there to challenge me, I can see where that's a shot. But to say she was throwing so many shots at you, I found that to be a little disingenuous. I don't know that she was intentionally throwing shots at you, and I didn't see any other shots, because she has to talk like a fighter. If they're asking her fighting questions, she has to talk like a boxer. But you can't be out here taking stuff more, it's like everything that somebody says personal, as if you and her had some type of spat prior to this. I hope y'all understanding what I'm saying. Let's play a little bit more.
Attention, her saying, oh, there's not nobody good enough at 168, my weight class, that could give her a challenge when I'm the number one in my weight class. And, I'm just like, nah. And, I just feel like, she gave props where it's due, but, she also spoke on how, what I'm doing for women's boxing is great, but it's not great enough for her. When it's like, we got two different goals and sets in life. Me winning 2 Olympic gold medals is just the beginning. Even when she was boxing, she never fought on Showtime, HBO. I fought the main event on Showtime. I don't know how many times now. Fastest woman to win a world title. I did it in 4 fights. And yeah, you can say, oh, the competition isn't there, and this girl wasn't that. But like I did it up in 4 fights, and so the girls that Laila Ali fought wasn't that great either. I mean, like, I'm the best female boxer that I've ever seen, and if Laila Ali wants to come back, we can rumble, we can go. This is not like, oh, I'm gonna step away. I respect her and everything, but
all right, so this approach is a little weird for me, right? Because I'll tell you all this: when we're coming up and we don't have anyone, or we don't have like the accolades, and we need somebody's clout to be able to hang on to, to bring ourselves up. We are different. But then we also different. Things change. Once we get there, then I've noticed that things change. And people start moving a little differently. I find that to be weird. It troubles my insides, because for an example, like, let's just say, okay, I'm trying to make this YouTube thing work, right? And I start reaching out to YouTubers who are much bigger than me, who have bigger platforms. Right now, I was able to work out for myself to get to 20,000 subs, but then I start feeling like, okay, you know what? To get to that next level, what do I really need to do? So I just reach out to somebody with a bigger platform, and they're graceful enough to say, they're gracious enough to say, okay, Harry B, I'll take you under my wing. I'll help you to grow your platform. Here's a few things you got to do. Here's how you work your thumbnails. Here's how you frame your topics, and some things you need to cover. Some, maybe don't over talk, don't do, they start giving me a whole lot of advice. So I take all of those advice and I implement them. I implement all of those advice, and then I get to a place where now, let's just say I get 500,000 subscribers, and I'm going on different platforms. I'm actually being requested. My promoters list, my sponsorship list is up there. And then, the person that helped me out, they're still there. They're still doing exactly the same thing they were doing. They're much bigger, hopefully, and they say something that kind of like is in my lane. Or let's just say they throw a shot that I feel like it hit me. Now, if this is the first shot, do I respond like her? I don't know that maybe I might feel some kind of way, because I do understand that sometimes, the student does, overtake the teacher. And sometimes when the student is studious enough or they are aggressive and they learn fast and they can grow fast, they just need a little bit of help, the teacher does become sometimes resentful and jealous and envious, and they will start doing stuff like that. I've seen that all the time. This is not the case here, though, right? Because I feel like it's the first time that this happened. But the way that Claressa is responding to it, it feels weird to me. It feels like she heard something behind the scenes before. It feels like, something was going on prior and she had it had reached a fever pitch, a boiling point, and this is how you respond. But this is just the first time. This is the very first offense, right? I feel like it was a shot. And y'all can tell me if y'all are watching, if y'all can chime in. If you're watching this post live and you want to go into the comments and tell me if you felt like it was a shot. Let me know if you think it was a shot, right? If it was a shot, I feel like it's an indirect shot, right? Because she's not, the way that she dealt with it, it doesn't feel like, she lined her up and then she took the shot. It felt like she said it, but I'm thinking like the way that I used to watch boxing when Mike Tyson was fighting, I got all the old school stuff. I watched Floyd Mayweather, but I didn't keep up like I did with Mike Tyson and all the Buster Douglas fights and everything. So I don't know about the new promotion or the new promoters now. I know the Don King tricks and stuff like that. Okay, learn all of that. So I do know, like when you're promoting a fight or you want somebody to fight, you want to throw some feeders out there. You want to throw some red meat out there and see if they'll bite, because you want to get the money up. You don't want to just take a fight. You want to get that bag up. In the media, that's why you saw Muhammad Ali and all those other people, like they were talking and they'll do what they do. This shot was not a direct shot. So I don't know why she responded like the woman didn't help you the way that she helped you. Took you under her wing, gave you so much advice. She was doing television. She interviewed you. She did so much for your career that she didn't have to do. All right. And the women's boxing was not, a big ticket item at the time when she was boxing. It wasn't the greatest thing. And I think people are still a little bit weirded out with the whole women's boxing, because it should be a lot further along, but it still isn't. The competition, like if you became a world champion in 4 fights, the competition ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like 4 fights and then all of a sudden you got all these accolades. Where the competition at? Not much. If all it takes is 4 fights for you to get to that height. So no, we're not taking nothing away from her, but I feel like the reaction was not warranted from a first offense, especially if you think that was an offense. It felt shoddy, but I can't say it was a direct shot. I think it was a shot, but it was not meant for her, right? Because if you're talking, you're just talking off the cuff, they're asking you, and you're Laila Ali, you got to think about your status, right? From where, like being the pioneer, being the one that put women boxing on the map. Right, and the type of bag that you would want to get. Is the sport, is it where you want it to be? If if you wanted to come back and like get a bag, let me see. What is Eclipse? What do you say? It's Laila Ali. When has she ever been shy about saying what she feels? Let me see what she said. What Eclipse is saying. Represents says Shields comes across as insecure about her image. See, I don't know about all of that. I don't really know Claressa Shields like that. All I know is like, you know, I started paying more attention when she started dating Papoose because Papoose is Liberian. So I'm like, oh, he's a Brooklyn dude and he's from my country. He's my countryman. So I followed his career. So once he started dating her and whatnot, I started paying attention. And like I ever really watched like a real fight of hers. So I'm not here to cast any type of judgment or say anything negative because Papoose is Liberian. And you know what I'm saying? And he's my countryman. So he's cool with me, right? But yeah, I mean, if you think that's how she is, then okay, I don't know her enough to say. Okay. But Laila Ali, I don't know that for Laila Ali to help you as much as she did, I can't say that she has so much venom for you that she's throwing all these shots for you to like publicly or for you to go on the internet and start going off, right? Because there's a lot more to the clips. She goes on the $1 Million Work for Game. She does, you know, it's almost like she's on a media spree, but there is no clips of Laila Ali actually just going back and forth with her. This is where you would say, okay, I understand where she's coming from, but I totally don't understand it because Claressa Shields is doing it all by herself. Laila Ali is just sitting back and just calculating as if Laila Ali is not a competitor. It's not a sport, you know, she don't have a competitive bone and she is supposed to talk the way she's talking. I think she meant money. I don't think she really meant like, oh, she really can't fight me. Even though she clarifies later on to say, yeah, I don't think she can handle this. But I think when she was talking, she was probably talking about money. Like, I need that bag. That's how I interpreted it, right? But even if she says, ain't nobody that can challenge me, Laila Ali ain't no slouch. I did see her get whooped at a certain point. I think when her career was on a decline, I did see her get knocked out, and like her hands was starting to get a little weak, kind of like how I felt with Ronda Rousey when you know she bust out on the scene and she was everything, and then all of a sudden, you know, every time she went to go fight now, she was getting knocked out. She was getting her face smashed in. I said, wait a minute, what's happening? You're supposed to be our hero. Why are you taking all these L's? What's going on around the Rousey? I was like, did Hollywood get to you? Or did Hollywood hype you? What's happening? But yeah, I mean, so to tell you the truth, I don't know if let's play this other clip. I'll come back to this if I have to, but let's play this other clip that I got. Let's see if I agree with this part. This other clip. All right, here it goes.
Claressa Shields. I don't think there's really any question that she's the best women's boxer today.
Of all time.
All time. You putting over Laila Ali?
All time. And I love Laila.
Wolf?
All time.
Coal miner's daughter?
All time.
Really?
There's no comparison.
Damn.
At all. All time. I love Laila too.
Yeah.
But ain't nobody coming close to Claressa.
Right.
2-time Olympic gold medal.
Yes.
3-time undisputed.
Yes.
Well, how many weight classes she did? 6 different weight classes. Now I understand it ain't a lot of women boxers.
Right.
But
she's the best of what's out there, or what's ever been out there.
that still don't take away the accolades that
Right.
she posed. So
Right.
It's no comparison.
Claressa Shields. I don't think there's really any.
So, okay, I think what they're talking about is fair. To tell you the truth, it's fair if you're one of these people like DC, Carson Music, and all these other people that their analysis are based on accolades. I'm picking at you, DC. I'm so sorry. But yeah, man, I think like if it's about accolades, then I get it. Because you can't take away the accolades. If the person won a championship, if they won a title, yes. But you got to think about it. When Claressa Shields when Claressa Shields started fighting, she was privy enough to be she was blessed enough to be at a certain point where women in boxing have become now more progressive, and it's now in a place where you can go to the Olympics and you can win you can box. I believe if Laila Ali had that opportunity, she would be just like she can go back to back to back, because I feel like she at the time was the only professional. Maybe I wasn't entrenched in it enough to know that there were other women that were there as professionals, but the way that Laila Ali was moving and, like, you know what I'm saying, her movements and the professionalism that she brought to the table, I didn't see any other woman doing that. You feel me? Like, it felt like she was in a league, like I said earlier, it by herself. It was like, okay, she was professional, and then it just went out and found some women and just said, look, we need competitors. We'll give you a certain amount of money. Just go train, you know what I'm saying? And then come back and let's fight her. That's what it felt like for women boxing. There wasn't enough, like, you didn't, just like men boxing, where you would see Gervonta, you would see Tank, where he's like, all right, he got to choose, hey, man, if you want to be the best, you got to fight this person, and that person. It wasn't like that when Laila Ali was actually boxing. It wasn't like, oh, okay, they had champions that were already in the sport, and, you know, if she was going to be the best, she had to fight this person, that person, and this person. It wasn't like that. So I didn't really see anything where I feel like they had to make opponents for her. If you understand what I'm saying, they had to come up with some type of opponents for her to fight. So is it fair for you to compare the two to say, okay, well, look at her accolades, look at her and look what she's doing. Look how many accolades she has and how many belts she has. I think at a certain point, you definitely have to say, you know what? I'm not going to fight the GOAT, right? Because this is the pioneer. This is the person that started it. There's no way, me in my right mind, I'm going to talk against, like, if I was one of these basketball players today, I'm going to go throw shade on Michael Jordan or, you know, any of the greats that came before us when they were wearing those real tight shorts that, you know, their private parts would probably leak if they jump a little differently. Like, their private parts would hang out, like, it was so tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I wouldn't do it. It's not right, because when you look at it, the sport wasn't really organized at the time that Laila was fighting. There was not much to go from. And if this person's dad was Muhammad Ali and he taught her about the business and her camp, you know, they were the one to kind of like bring the sport to where it was enough for you to be able to feed your family off of it. Look, let her throw at least 2 shots at you before you respond. You know what I'm saying? Like, let it be at least 2 or 3 shots. Don't take the first bait. Unless you, like somebody said, unless you're insecure about something, don't take the first shot. And again, I'm speaking from a place where I don't know behind the scenes. She ain't said nothing about behind the scenes, like she's been out here, you know, trying to like diminish what I'm doing. She ain't said none of that. She She's referencing the Breakfast Club stuff. That's all we got. Right? And then you're going around saying, oh, she was just Muhammad Ali's daughter and she couldn't box and yada, yada, yada. I don't know. Like, if she's the pioneer in your sport and she's the one that kind of started it and held it up for you to be able to feed your family at this point, you don't really put the GOAT. You don't do that to the GOAT. You don't, like, you can be the best, like, at this point. Let's say when she was boxing, there was nobody. She held it down, did whatever she had to do, and now it's an organized sport, and there are more women doing it. So now we're keeping records. Now we have the Olympics. Now we have the belts. Now there are several people with different belts and that you can take from. When Laila Ali was doing it, there was none, right? So now for you to use that against her, I don't know that that's right. I don't know that it's a fair fight. You know what I'm saying? For the sake of better terminology, I don't know that it's a fair fight. So was it shade or was it a misunderstanding? M-I-S-S, misunderstanding? I'm trying to play with this, okay? I think it was a misunderstanding, and Shields did not have to take the first one. What you said, Love Moves? How you doing tonight? Hope all is well. It's not a flex for a top condition 30-year-old to beat up a 47 That's a good one. That's a good one. As represents says what? Women's boxing today is more popular than it's ever been. Yes, and then you have to take the USC women fighting and stuff like that. It's come a long way. We didn't have this. Women weren't allowed socially. It was not accepted. You feel me? So when you got the first ones, the pioneers who had to probably go through a whole lot of hoops, jump through a whole lot of hurdles and whatnot to get it to where you can feed your family, you leave those people alone. They can throw as many shots. If you're not an insecure person, the way you handle this, all right, just like I always do with Prime and Shador and them when they go off the cuff and they start saying crazy things, the way you handle this from a media perspective, I just be like, look, man, yo, that's a pioneer. That's a GOAT. I can't mess. You know what I'm saying? She can throw as many shots as she wants. You know what I'm saying? She was the first face of all of this. She can do whatever she wants to. She can say whatever. That's somebody who is secure in them. And then you recognize where the sports is at right now. You say some of the things I'm saying. When she was coming up, we didn't even have the Olympics. She didn't even have competition. So how can I'm talking about Claressa now, I'm speaking for her, what she should be saying if she was very confident in her own skin. Like, if you're confident in your own skin, you're not worried about a 40-some-year-old person talking about, yo, if I came back, I can get you. Come on, like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, look, it is what it is. She's the GOAT. She can do and say whatever she wants to say, unless they know that they want to set up in the exhibition fight and come and embarrass Laila Ali. Like, come on, you're young and you still got blood flowing through your veins. Like, Laila Ali, I don't care how much shape you in, okay? Like, I don't care. It's a different beast, okay? Let me tell you right now, Laila, this is a word for you. It's a whole other thing, okay? Y'all remember the story I told y'all about running on the beach with my 10-year-old? And I pulled a Hemi? Laila, I'm going to tell you right now, there is no amount of shape that you can keep in with your baby six-pack. And there ain't no amount of shape that you can get in to get in the ring with Claressa Shields, who's doing this act. I don't know that you want that kind of problem on you, and you're older. You're approaching 50. I don't think you want it. Like, just respectfully, you don't want it. You don't want to do that to yourself. All right. You don't want to ruin your legacy for some type of pride. You don't have to do that. There was no competition when you was fighting. They literally or practically had to make up somebody for you to fight. So yeah, you started a sport. Riding to the sunset with that. Don't mess with it. Let her do her talking. And Claressa, Because my Brooklyn dude, my Liberian brother is dating you. Let me just give you some OG advice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm almost 50-some years old, and you're a 30-some-year-old girl, and you're coming up and you're doing your thing. You're shining right now. Please remember when you needed help. Just remember when you needed help. Remember when you were on the come up. All right, when you had your 20,000 subscribers and you needed help to come up. And now that you have arrived, don't forget that. You mentioned that. I know that. You say, hey, she gave props where props was due, yada, yada, yada. But let that be your confidence. Let that be your security blanket. Have security in yourself. Don't be out here, challenging the OG. You know what I'm saying? Like, she don't went off and made a life on TV, and it doesn't matter what she says. Who cares, man? If you're confident in who you are and what you've accomplished, it doesn't matter. She helps you to come up. She helps you to come up. And now that you are here and you're young and you're vibrant, you're not trying to go fight her. Like, it don't even matter what she says. All you got to say, look, she's the OG and she can say whatever she want to say. She helped me to come up. I'm happy where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I'm fighting to, we have a vibrant sport now that we can all eat off of. There are women that's going to come up after me, and those young girls that's coming up after me, I want them to have that same attitude. I'm going to say whatever I want to say. If they ever want to challenge me, I'm probably going to say it. You know what I'm saying? These are the type of things that you want to hear from, like, the people that are, right underneath. You don't want to hear this type of things from like a Claressa Shields. You don't want to hear that because it don't make sense. You're not challenging the OG. She's the pioneer. Like, what benefit would it be? You know what I'm saying? You're trying to offer her $15 million to come and fight you to prove what? What exactly would you prove? You're not going to prove anything. Ain't nothing to prove, right? And you're dating a Liberian guy. Like, he's, you know what I'm saying? Come on, like, leave, like, Papoose. Talk to the girl, man, my man. Let me put it in Liberian English, my man, because Papoose, you Liberian, my man. You will understand what I'm saying, my man. Get your get by. You know the get. Come on. OG to OG. Tell the get, my man. Rap to her. You can rap, my man. You're one of the best rappers in the industry, my man. Rap to the get. Say, you get. You don't have to do what you're doing. Just let the Liberian rap. Come on, man. Get the girl, man. Just tell the girl to just chill, man. Like, OG there. The old woman. What you coming to do? Yeah, you young girl. What you coming to do with the old woman? You can't do nothing to the old woman. Come on, man. Talk to your girl, my man. What you doing so, man? You got your girl out here looking crazy about. Come and challenge your old woman for what reason? You can't do it about just lead it. Tell the young girl to just, you get chill. You doing too much, eh? You doing too much, yo. Anyways. That's enough Liberian as I'm going to speak. But yeah, man, like, I think I'm going to leave it right there because I think it was a shot, but it was a misunderstood shot, right? It's not a shot that you're supposed to respond to. She deserves to take at least one shot at you. I mean, come on, like, she deserves one shot or two. Now, the third shot, go off. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm not taking 3 strays. I take 2, but I'm not taking 3 strays from you. I know you're the OG and I respect it, but don't come out here and be disrespectful. You can't jump on the first shot. If you jump on the first shot, that means that you've been feeling some kind of way. The industry has talking heads, and maybe y'all around the same type of people. And when they talk about, the OGs, just like we still talk about Michael Jordan, we still talk about all the, Mike Tyson and, Buster Douglas and all these people. Maybe you feel some kind of way and you're like, I don't know if you're insecure or you want the people to talk about you more because you have more accolades. I'll put it this way. Now there are more accolades to get. Back then, how many accolades could you get when you're literally starting the sport? When they're asking, like, women who are in the kitchen trying to cook dinner, hey, do you want to fight? Like, what do you mean fight? I fight with my husband all the time. What are you talking about? No, I mean like for money, boxing. Like, oh, how much am I getting paid? 100,000. 100,000? Did you say 100,000? Suit it up. Let's go. Suit me up. Let's go. What do I have to do? What do I have to do? Where do I stand? Who's gonna hit me and why? Yo, this is funny. Who's about to hit me and why? How hard? First of all, how hard are they gonna hit me? Yo, I should have done this. What you say? Is that Bitcoin? Michael Jordan refused to be called the new Dr. J when he came into the league. Respect. She needs to call out some WNBA players. Oh man. When you're up, this is a good advice right here. When you are up, control your ego. When you are down, control your thoughts. Yeah, man, because I feel like whenever like we as human beings, we are so prone to like forget where we came from. I mean, when you were down, you need somebody else's clout. And thank God there was a clout. You feel me? You didn't have to start from scratch. Somebody was already there and they started this whole thing, you know, and then they were gracious enough to hand you, you know, the mantle to say, hey, you know, this is how you do it. This is how you do your business. You know, don't take less. Make sure you get paid. This is how you get paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like she deserves 2 shots at you. I'm just going to put it that way. She deserves at least 2 shots at you. It could be direct shots or inadvertent shots. It was a shot, but it wasn't a direct shot. All right? And you jumped at the first shot. It can only mean that something was happening and you were just like, all right, you know what? Enough of the disrespect. Let me get at her. But she ain't going to come out of retirement to come fight you. And even if she does and you win, you're not going to prove nothing. She's much older than you. It's like Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul. Like, what are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? I feel like there was a contract where Mike Tyson should have, like, he was not allowed to hit him at a certain time. Like, because I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is not, I feel like Mike Tyson's, his wings were clipped. Like, are you serious? What are we talking about here? Anyway, hey, man, look, it's a little different. I understand. You tune into TLP, you see my face, and you're like, Harry B's talking about boxing? Yeah, guess what? I'm about to talk about everything. That's just how it's supposed to be in the first place. Low views, more content. And then, you remember that scene in Coming to America? I'm going from lettuce to fries. That's when the real big bucks are going to start rolling in. You see what I'm talking about? Yay, man. We're spreading our wings. Please respect it. Support it if you can. I appreciate everybody that was here. S represents Love Moves. Love Moves, you just all over the place. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Your name is befitting. Your name is befitting. Eclipse, I appreciate you, man. Peter Investor, my investment guy. Thank you so much, my guy. I appreciate you as well. That MMA fighting is wild like street fighting. Oh, yeah, that thing is crazy. Hey, man, look, I appreciate everybody that's watching. You know what I'm saying? I do appreciate y'all. Thank you for supporting me. Please, you know, just brace yourself because I want to talk about more things because I think my range is very rangy. You feel me? I have a very large range when it comes to sports, all kinds of sports, soccer, basketball. I played it all. I played tennis. I was really good at tennis as well. So I'm very rangy when it comes to sports. And I appreciate Coach Prime for getting me started in this here sports arena. And for y'all to come from Coach Prime, now I want to take it to where my range can be like, I can flex now. I can talk about boxing comfortably because I watch it. I can talk about table tennis because I play it. I can talk about basketball because I'm dope at it. None of y'all want to see me. None of y'all. I'll put money on it. None of y'all want to see me. Anyway, yeah, man, I'm very rangy and I can talk about anything when it comes to sports. I can do it. So I hope y'all will support it. Thank you for watching. I'll see y'all on the next video, okay? Whether if it's a live or it's just a video, maybe I record it and I upload it and y'all support it. Either way, you know what I'm saying? When I do the lives, I don't have to edit. So when I don't have no time to edit, I'm going live. I can mess up all I want. It takes too long to be able to edit those videos, so I'm going live for now, okay? But anyways, man, y'all, thanks for your support. I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace. God bless. Love Moose said, good boxing show. Let me put that on the screen. Good boxing show. Thank you, Love Moose. I appreciate the vote of confidence. Salute. I'm out. God bless y'all, man.